Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Arsenal was Sporting the Club Portugal. It's gonna happen tonight. It's the second leg of the quarterfinal in the Champions League, and it's as Mikel Arteta said in his press conference, probably the biggest game in the history of the football club. And as you know, as it is special with Arsenal, and as things go for Arsenal, half of our main players are injured. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better for our rivals, and it keeps getting better and worse and worse for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka was already injured. Julian Timber was already injured. And now, Ricardo Calafiori was already injured, and we did not expect any of them to start, or we did not expect them to play. And now, the worst thing that can happen to Arsenal has happened. It's Declan Rice is also injured. None of them were in the training yesterday. None of them trained in any sort of a way. And there are big question marks there whether either of them are going to play tonight's game. And I think it just shows, when things start to go bad, how quickly things can, how bad it can get. A month ago, just before the, final in that Carabao Cup, nobody would have expected Arsenal to be in this position. Everybody was singing heaps and praises for this Arsenal squad. Everybody was loving Arsenal team and Arteta. And even though the rival fans and whatnot, they really wanted Arsenal to fail, but they still, there was fear about Arsenal, and everybody thought, they might go ahead and do something, and everybody expected Arsenal to go over the line and whatnot. A month after that, Arsenal losing all those games and whatever has happened, it just shows how quickly football changes. We are starting to pick up injuries to our crucial players. Our players are starting to miss out. We are not playing good football, and things look like it cannot get worse than this, I just sort of loved it. That's why I said I just love football, that how quickly things change. And I think this tonight's game, I agree with Arteta. I personally think it is a much bigger game as compared to the one against Manchester City over the weekend. Everybody's concentration is going to be toward that game. That game is going to decide the title. That is the main game. Arsenal need to win. Arsenal need to do something in that game. But for me personally, if Arsenal don't win tonight, if Arsenal don't go through, and I keep on saying, going through is one thing. It is a different thing. You can go through, in different ways, or we can end up losing the game like a 4-2 or 4-3, something like that. Something like, we can go through in penalties and whatnot. That is a different sort of a thing. But for me personally, we need to win this game, for our psychologically, for our mentally. It is important for Arsenal players. It's important for the fans that Arsenal end up winning this game, and they go through to the next round in a confident manner, because that is what we are going to take at the heart. You can say all the nice things about Arsenal. You can say all the bad things about it. It's not really going to matter. What matters is tonight's performance and how the players come up and how the players are played tonight. If Arsenal go out, and if Arsenal, the players go out and they perform, and they, we have a good game, we have a good performance, there's a good performance. So that the belief, at the moment you meet any Arsenal fan, you talk to any Arsenal fan, the spirits are so low. Objectively, you can say, okay, we have been doing really good. We had a really good season. A couple of setbacks, but I think, and I said that after Arsenal defeat against Southampton, it is that sort of fear is lingering behind the players. It's lingering behind the fans as well, that we might fall, and and it is going to be a catastrophe, because as I said, a month ago we were in 4 competition. Everybody was talking about a quadruple and whatnot. So now you are out of those two competitions, and now you have put yourself in sort of a jeopardy with the Premier League title. So this game, for me personally, if something bad happens, God forbid, if something bad happens, which I really don't want to, if they bow out, I am saying this, if they miss out on going through to the next round, I personally think we are not going to win anything. I think the effect on their, on their minds, the psychological effect for Arsenal players, they're not going to be able to take it. You're going out on three consecutive competitions, and then you go to Etihad when City are in a really good form and you're mentally basically done. I think they're going to get rolled over so quickly. That is why I keep on saying, tonight's game is a big game. I think the fans really need to turn up, and I'm not going to take anything away. I mean, the way that the fans have been supporting Arsenal this season, there has been a bit of a meltdown. I've done a video about it. I think a lot of the people are still overreacting, in my opinion. I mean, it is the same side. I keep on saying it's very easy to support a team when everything is going your way. I mean, if until that Carabao Cup final, we lost just 3 games. You are winning left, right, and center. You had a bit of a couple of draws, but that's part and parcel of the game. So if from August till at the end of the March, you have just lost 3 games, at that in a moment of time, it's very easy to support your club. What really matters and what it really it's important for Arsenal and the club is when you can support them in tough times, and this is a time when the players really need you. I mean, even in the game against Southampton, a couple of bad passes and you could start to hear some groans, and the reactions after the game. I was pissed. I was really angry because it was a pathetic performance. But as fans, sometimes you need to be rational and support the team. And again, I keep coming back to it. Things are not going our way at the moment. I mean, Declan Rice, nobody knew about his injury. Bukayo Saka, what has happened to him? Yuri Timber, Caro Calafiori. You have such important players. Mikel Merino has been out all the time. Odegaard comes in, he plays a couple of times, and then he goes back again. We still don't know whether he's going to start as well. So there are problems all over the place, pitch for Arsenal at the moment, and these injuries are in a way. And I know I'm not going to make them as an excuse, because that's what we were promised, because everybody said that we had an amazing squad, and I still believe we had a really good squad. Just because a month has not been gone in our favor, the performances, a couple of good performances have not been really good. I cannot sit here and I cannot say that the squad is not good enough. But you build that squad, no matter how good your squad is, there is still a couple of 4 or 5 players that are really to the next level. And out of those, our next level players, we are missing at least 3 of them. You are missing Yuri Timber, you are missing Bukayo Saka, I cannot believe, I think we might end up missing a Declan Rice for this crucial game as well. So that does have an effect, especially in a situation like this, when you're already down and your emotions are all over the place. You need people like Declan Rice. I mean, in that Southampton game, if there was one player who was who was pulling everybody up and who was trying his fellow players to move forward and try to do something in that game, it was Declan Rice. Apart from him, nobody really stood up in that game. And if we lose him, I don't even want to think about it, if I'm being very honest with you. So I think all these injuries and all this situation, it is going to be a massive moment tonight. I think Mikel Arteta said this week is the biggest one in the history of the club. I personally think this game could not there's not a game that can be a bigger one than this game. I keep on repeating that this is a bigger game than the one over the weekend at Etihad, because if we don't qualify for the next round, I think psychologically the team is going to be done. I think that the players are going to be over, and I think they are going to get rolled over at Etihad. It's not it could turn out to be a humiliating day at Etihad if we don't go through. So for me personally, I think tonight's game is the one that really matters, and I really hope that we can turn up, and I think the players know as well. You can do all the tricks and fun on social media and whatnot, and you can come out with all the new techniques and of practices and whatnot, but what matters is what you do in those 90 minutes. And I think this is the game that everybody needs to show up. They need to come out and they need to give a sort of a performance that not only calms the Arsenal fans down, it again gives sort of a warning, because we all know they have it in that. They have done it the entirety of this season. They need to come out, they need to play with sort of a swagger that gives instills fears in the opponent's heart. Let's be very honest. All the opposition fans, as much as they banter us and whatnot, they know how much of a good team we have, and they know we can still go ahead and win the double. We can win the Champions League and the Premier League as well. That's the ultimate truth. And so they need to come out tonight and they need to play in a way that again puts sort of a fear into the Manchester City fans and the players as well, because everybody is going to be looking at this game, because everybody knows how huge this game is. So for me, I really hope the players turn up, and I hope out of all the injury players, Arsenal they come back and we have some sort of a good performance and we go through. That is from me in this video. Let me know what your opinions are about the injuries, about the situation, and what do you think is going to be the end result of the game. Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.